YouTube. There's a lot going on right now in the world with the mortgage industry and with real estate. Real estate is still moving forward on my end. I mean, I'm still having clients, still, showing homes, whether it be virtually or setting something up with a new build to do it virtually or in person. So that part is still going, but with the mortgage portion, a lot of things are changing for some people. There's talk about forbearance for certain payments, and then there's talk about deferment. So I wanted to go ahead and cover those two things because it's very important right now. So let me give you a general piece of information in this upcoming video on how the deferment and forbearance works, because those are two separate things. But for anybody that's out there listening to this video, please do your research and talk to a lender, because each lender is going to be different depending on your state or country that you're in. So do the research, make sure you know what you're doing. I am not a lender, I am not a financial advisor, but I do a little bit of research to be able to bring you the information that's out there currently. All right, so this video is about forbearance and deferment. So which one's going to be best for you? So in a quick answer of what each is, a forbearance is, say you do a 30-day forbearance or 30-day no payment, or 60-day, 90-day, you throw in whatever you want. I think you can do it up to like 6 months now, but you don't have to do that payment for a certain amount of time, okay? And then a deferment is when you take that payment from wherever you're at in your loan and you move that to the very end of your loan. So the other one is you still have this time period that you don't make those payments, and then it's due all at once whenever this time is up. And then the deferment is when you grab it and you put it at the end of your loan. And then I have examples of that shortly in the video. But I just wanted to let you know the banks still owe money for these loans that you have out. So if you have a loan that you're currently in, or if you're walking into a loan, the bank still owes money for that. And I know a lot of people are not making the payments because they feel like, hey, the government said that we don't have to make payments on rent. We don't have to make payments on certain things. The bank still owes money on that, and they have to figure out a way to pay it themselves. Yes, that is the bank's responsibility, but at the same time, we took out a mortgage, so it is our responsibility as well to make sure that we make those payments. So let me give you a good understanding in this video of what both things are. Forbearance is just pushing something off until the forbearance date ends. Deferment is pushing it into the end of your loan. So let me get further into that. Forbearance. So a forbearance would actually be, you would have the same situation, same scenario. So we're looking at the same numbers. Okay, we're not changing those. But let's look at this May payment. It's $506.69. Let's say we did a forbearance for these first couple of months, okay? Let's just do it for these. So what's going to happen is you have your typical payment of $506.69, and you just want to do a forbearance and not pay it for this month. Then you want to do it for this month also. And then you want to do it for this month also. So what's going to happen is you have to figure out a way to pay those, because you're maybe out of a job, you're maybe struggling slightly to where you can't pay the whole amount. So let's figure out what it is. 506.69, and then let's say we just skip 3 months. So we're just going to multiply it by 3. So at the end of the 3 months, when this next August payment is due, you actually owe $1,520.07 and this August payment. So they're going to want the whole amount. They're not going to be able to work with you because you deferred just the 3 months. They're going to want the whole $1,520.07 from the 3 prior months that you didn't pay, as well as this payment from August of 2020 of $506.69. And what that would do is now, once you make this payment, it'll set you back on track to just continue to make your payments. If you're not able to make that payment of $1520.07 and the $506.69, then that's when the foreclosure process actually starts. So because the banks have to pay their payments still, the forbearance that I just described in there, if you go the few months and don't make the payments, then what should happen is you should go into a foreclosure, okay? The banks don't want to go through the foreclosure process because it's a long process. It's going to actually be really time consuming for them. It takes up a lot of money. So they need to reclaim the property if they're going to go do a foreclosure. Then it may need to be fixed depending on what kind of condition you left the property in. They may need to go in and fix something. That's even more costly for them. So now they have to foreclose on you. They got to fix items, and then they have to list it again. So in this kind of market, they don't want to try to do all of that stuff and then get it sold again. That's just way too much work. So just remember, as I described, the forbearance is the deferment is different than forbearance. So the forbearance is just moving it until a certain time point and then making the full payment in full, as well as your current payment. Also, so I almost forgot, the unemployment right now, they're trying to figure out a way to get unemployment to be about $2,000 plus a month. They're trying to figure out how much they're actually going to give to people if we don't have the opportunity to go back to work. So with that being said, just know unemployment may cause you to not be able to pay your loan after the 90 days forbearance period. So that would cause you to now go into the foreclosure process. But I would advise to go ahead and speak to your lenders, let them know what's going on and keep them up to date, just in case there is something that they can do, okay? Because there's different opportunities for a chance to be able to make your payments. Maybe they're willing to allow you to roll extra payments into each month to be able to pay it off within 2, 3, 4 years or the life of the loan. So just ask your lender if those are some possibilities, because it may be something that you can do when you're not able to meet your forbearance end date. So let me walk through a loan real quick to give you a good understanding of how the loan actually works. So it's $100,000 is what I'm going to use in the example for a 30-year loan, which comes out to be 360 months. I'm going to do a 3% rate. You can buy down your rate or come in at that loan. The rates are really good now, like I was saying. So with that, you could possibly get a 3% rate. So let's go ahead and hit calculate. So you'll see here your payments are going to be about $506.69. This is just an estimate. And then your total interest paid is $82,406.71. And the total principal paid is $100,000. So you're basically paying $182,000 for the home. But we're talking about deferring and your forbearance. So if you were to look at this, your payment of $506.69, it consists of $131.69 as your principal, and then $375 as your interest. So you're gonna now bring your balance down only $131. So if you defer something, you're moving the payment all the way down to the end, which now let's scroll. Your payment will now be tacked on to this. So your payment won't end in April. It'll now end at the end of May. But you can see now it's more of a principal payment. So your whole payment is $506.69 and your principal payment is now $504.79 and $1.89 is interest. So that would actually take care of the remainder of your loan, get you down to a zero balance. But because you're deferring it, you're actually adding that on to the end of this along with the interest. So you would owe more. Well, it'd be the same 506 here though, but it would be more interest that you would owe. So your principal payment would be a little bit less and your interest payment would be a little bit more. So all they're doing is just tacking it on to the end. So if you do 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, whatever the case may be, it's tacked on to the end. So you're adding on to your loan. So hopefully that explains a little bit of how the deferment works for you. You definitely, if you do the deferment or the forbearance, you definitely want to get documentation from the lender stating that you're doing one of these two items. Just in the event that you do like a refinance or you go to sell, it's not going to hinder you or affect your credit in a matter of docking points because you've missed payments or hurting you when you come to refinance because nobody wants to trust you when you missed 3 to 6 months worth of payments or you've pushed them to the back. So always have that documentation. Keep the documentation with your actual housing paperwork, whether it's the title or actually now they do it in the email form. You can do it in the paper form or they do it on a thumb drive. So if you need to scan it and put it on your thumb drive or put it into your booklet like I have, or just put it into the paperwork, however you need to keep it, just keep that around in the event that you need it in the future. One other option is, and this is only if the circumstances are right for you. So make sure, again, you speak to a lender and make sure the circumstances are the right circumstances for you. Okay. I am not a lender. I am just, giving some general information. So if you've liked this so far, just hit the like button. Okay. If you have the ability to do a refinance, there's times where you can refinance, you actually get to skip a month or two. Sometimes it's two. I only skipped a month and a half or something like that because of the time frame it finished. So it helped out. I was going from that home to purchasing a new home, and then I was still keeping that one. So I refinanced and I just had that month and a half of free time. In the new home, I had 2 months of not making payments. So that helped me out. So if that's something that can help you out, is lower your interest rate and then also not defer, I don't want to say defer, but also allow you a month or two of no payment because you have a brand new loan, then that's something that you can use as an option. But hopefully this helps out. If you have any questions, reach out to your lender. I'm not going to have the answers to those, unfortunately, because I just do the real estate side. But this is something that's really important, and it took me a while to understand it. And I had to ask lenders questions, and I had to research some things just to be able to figure out how this whole thing works. But I do want you guys to be in the best position to be able to keep your home or to move on to the next home. So if this helps, please, if you made it to the end, put Shamrock in your comments, and then let me know any questions that you might have, and maybe I can either have a lender reach out to you or I can ask the questions to a lender and then give it to you or have a later video. But as always, man, I love that you guys watch. I love that you guys support. Continue to be great, man. Stay safe and be clean.